The sound of waves crashing around Alcatraz Island was a constant reminder of this place's utter isolation. Shrouded in thick fog over San Francisco Bay, the island rose like a cold, unyielding fortress. To the outside world, Alcatraz was where America's most dangerous criminals were held, murderers, bank robbers, and the most stubborn outlaws. But for those locked inside, it was hell on earth, the final stop before despair completely consumed them. Frank Morris stood silently in his cramped cell number 138, his sharp eyes observing every brick, every time-worn crack in the walls. To him, those walls weren't just concrete and steel. They were the boundary between life and death, between freedom and captivity. Frank wasn't like the other criminals. He wasn't the brutish, hot-headed type. On the contrary, Frank possessed a sharp, logical mind and astonishing patience. His file clearly stated an IQ of 133, an exceptional number in the brutal world of prison life. Transferred to Alcatraz in late 1960 after several failed escape attempts from other prisons. Frank quickly understood that if there was a place deemed inescapable, this was it. The island lay nearly 2 kilometers from the mainland, surrounded by icy waters, large waves, and deadly currents. Even the mere thought of swimming across discouraged most. But not everyone gave up so easily. Frank met the Anglin brothers, John and Clarence, at the prison workshop. The two grew up among the canals of Florida, renowned for their swimming skills. More importantly, they carried within them a fierce survival instinct and a deep resentment for the harsh prison system. Whispered conversations began to form among the three men as they chipped away at window frames in the workshop or took advantage of brief breaks in the yard. No one spoke openly, but glances, sly smiles, and fragmented pieces of information slowly shaped a daring plan. "No prison is perfect," Frank once said, his eyes glinting with determination. Not even Alcatraz. Day by day, they observed the prison's structure, memorized the guards' schedules, and noted blind spots in the security system. They realized the wall behind the ventilation grate in their cells was thinner than expected. Beneath layers of old paint and concrete lay utility, shafts, a potential escape route for those clever enough to exploit it. But it was still just an idea. Until Frank discovered an old metal spoon and discarded items from the woodworking shop. Those seemingly useless objects ignited a spark of hope for the men trapped behind bars. While outside, tourists marveled at Alcatraz as a mysterious landmark, and the press praised its absolute security. Inside, a bold scheme was quietly being born, right under the noses of the guards. For Frank, Morris, and the Anglin brothers, the choice was clear. They could spend the rest of their lives behind bars or risk everything for the slimmest chance at freedom. And they made their choice. Because on this island of death, there were only two paths: to lie buried beneath the cold concrete or to swim into the night in search of freedom.